And welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. Coming up on a new hour, we appreciate everyone continuing to join us here. Really history in the making that we continue to talk about with yesterday's big news of Joe Biden dropping out. We have new information right now that Vice President Kamala Harris has left D.C. and heading to Delaware to speak to campaign staff and really try to energize them as we have seen really the amount of energy really coming together now for the Democrats with a new record. Harris raised $81 million in her first 24 hours, the largest single-day haul in presidential history per her campaign. So again, that energy level is getting there in the Democrats now with that big decision. All right, so I want to bring in our next guest here of this hour to help break down the big news here. And this is former senior advisor to Joe Biden, Mo Vila. Thanks so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox. And wow, what a wild 24 hours it has been. And first off, I just want to get your reaction to the news that, of course, we all know was from yesterday.
Thanks for having me on, Mike. It's a pleasure. Look, I have, because of my friendship with the Bidens, my utmost respect for them. There was a part of me that was a little sad to see him, end his political career, but absolutely profoundly proud of his accomplishments as president. And of course, capping off a 50-plus year commitment of service to our nation and her people. You know what? A little sad, but more proud.
And tell me how you think the delivery was. Putting out a statement on X, we haven't seen Joe Biden in days now. How did you feel the White House rolled that out?
Well, I think that had he not had COVID have already gone through COVID and healed from COVID, I think we would have seen him already. But I think illness is keeping him, as he should be, away from people. And so, we'll see him in due time, Mike. I think the other part of this is there's a, political respect for Vice President Harris. And as soon as he endorsed her, I think he probably wants to let her now have the spotlight. She's going to be at the top of the ticket. And as you just pointed out, and, as you came back from break, record-breaking fundraising. The Democratic Party is falling in line and unifying. You can just feel the re-energizing spirit happening across the Democratic Party. So I think he wants to give everybody a chance to get excited and get behind her and let her now take the torch.
Yeah, so true. And hearing of that big news, I want to also get your thoughts on yesterday with the statement that came out. The first statement, it made no mention of an endorsement for Kamala Harris, and then the second one did. Why do you think there was this the second statement coming out maybe about 5 minutes after?
To be really honest with you, I am not advising him currently, but if I was advising him, I actually would have advised him to do it exactly that way. One is about him leaving the race and finishing his term as president of our nation. The second is strictly political and endorsing her from a political perspective. So, you know what? I respect that he kept them separate. I think there were two different duties, if you will, two different functions, two different arenas.
Now, since you knew and worked with Joe Biden, when you watched the debate there with Donald Trump, did you notice right away that he wasn't the same and performing the same that you knew of him?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I'm one of those that I went live on television in London and all over the place. And I don't spin things, Mike. I just call it as I see it, frankly, on both sides. And look, it was an abysmal performance by the president, but it was more than that. And I could tell, right? That wasn't the Joe Biden I worked for 11 years ago or 10 years ago. But guess what, Mike? You and I aren't the same as we were 10 years ago either. And there's only one thing in life we can't control, and that's aging and time, right? We can't stop it. It's just a part of life. And look, the reality is he's 81. Donald Trump's 78, I believe. Right behind him, they would have been in high school at the same time. When you put it in context, these are two octogenarians, my friend. And whatever comes with aging, they both are going to have. It's just that simple.
Now, why do you think if you're definitely not the only one that knew that, and of course his staff had to know that he just wasn't the same. So why do you think they waited for so long until to try and move this around? Why not maybe a year ago and really try to have some continued momentum for Kamala Harris? But why do you think it took now compared to maybe 6 months ago or a year to have this conversation and to put pressure on Biden to drop out?
That's a very good question and a fair question, Mike. And I'll tell you this, having worked for him and knowing him personally, I have to tell you, to know Joe Biden is to love Joe Biden. And what I mean by that is, I promise you that even if folks around him felt like maybe he was declining a little, maybe, I don't know, or maybe they saw that he was slowing down or whatever the case may be, the thing with Joe Biden is he is resilient and he is a very, very strong man. And so he saw that he was getting things done. I know what he's like when he's on a roll, the way he was with passing very impactful legislation. I know there are a lot of folks on the other side of the aisle that like to bash a lot of stuff, but you just can't take it away from him. He got some major bipartisan stuff done and got some great legislation passed and created millions of jobs, right? And yeah, inflation still isn't completely under control, but it's a lot better than it was. So all these things, he felt momentum, and he's the kind of guy. I'm kind of that way too, my friend. To be honest with you, if I feel like I'm on a roll, I want to keep going, and I want to keep fighting, and I want to keep scratching and clawing. So I promise you that anybody around him had to deal with that because that's who he is. He's got that zest for life, kind of the joie de vivre, as they say in France. And I think that's what they were up against, and they just had to go with the boss, go with the role, right?
Yeah, so true. And lastly, here, since you know that Joe Biden worked with him, not only was he taking these considerations very seriously from other Democrats when they were telling him maybe now is not the time anymore, but what do you think it meant for him? He's such a proud man. What do you think that meant for him deep down, hearing that his own party thought it would be best for him to step away? What does that mean for a person like Joe Biden, who's so proud and strong worded, especially
Yeah.
with his long history in politics?
Yeah, you're right to say he's a strong man, but I would add one more thing to that, Mike, and that is that he has got a beautiful heart. The man's just got a beautiful heart. So there is no ands, ifs, or buts that when you have folks encouraging you to step out of the race after 50 plus years of service to our nation, it has got to hurt. It's got to hurt. It can't feel good. It couldn't have felt good. I'm sure there were moments he felt betrayed. Somewhat of like a stab in the back kind of thing. I'm sure. I have not spoken to him, so I don't want to, speculate. Other than having known him and knowing his heart, can imagine it was hurtful. But as he's done his whole life, again, anybody wants to argue, let's go. He's done it his whole life. He committed his adult life to the service of our nation. You may not agree with him on everything. You may not agree with his policies. You may not agree even with his politics. But my God, he is what we at one time used to call an American patriot, right? Who really loves this country. And once again, here at the end of those 50 plus years, he made a very difficult decision and he did what was best for our country and for his party. And for that, I will always respect him, commend him, love him, and we should all thank him. It's that simple. We should just thank him.
Mo, thanks so much for this conversation, really giving us some insight here on really especially the last 2 weeks have been breaking news after breaking news. So
Yeah.
thanks so much for joining us and giving us some insights on not only Joe Biden as president, but Joe Biden, just a regular man that was in this position of politics for so long. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Mike, so much for having me.
Take care.